going to be focusing on building, and at this point in time, I would like to introduce you our guests. Closer to me, we have Desiree Small. She is marketing coordinator with Steel Tech Builders, and we also have Mr. Wayne Dowridge, the managing director of Steel Tech Builders. Welcome to Morning Barbados.
Thank you.
Good to have you here. Now, first of all, you've done a number of projects. You've done a book, Mr. Dowridge, a book titled The Wayne Dowridge Construction Manual, a step-by-step guide for wall wood building for the beginner or experienced builder. And we have shots of those things, hopefully, to share with you. We've got a series of DVDs as well.
That's it. The goal in this DVD is to make sure that the homeowners or the experienced builders get more experience in how things is to be done.
Okay.
The problem we have is that contractors who want to be contractors lack certain experience in how things is to be done.
Okay.
Now, my teaching was done under in the tech service, Mr. Baza de Silva Senior. Thank you very much.
And you have 18 years in master building.
In master building, because most of my trade was learned on the Tech service, and I'm very grateful. The video that we have out now is probably about 4 hours long, but it's only one volume dealing strictly with the foundation. And as I would say, I would recommend to any owners, you must always have an engineer on the job. As an engineer can save you thousands of dollars. An inspection for engineers run roughly probably between $200 or $300, but $200 or $300 can save you thousands, start the house from cracking, and that stuff.
And we're rolling a piece of video here.
Yeah.
This is one of the first parts.
That part is the layout of the foundation. Now, as I will recommend any owner, you lay out the foundation first, so that if there's any changes in the building, you can rub it out the marker and then realign. As any changes when you block this building, it means it costs you thousands of dollars. So I recommend to any experienced builder or any owner to get a visual layout of the building, look at it, and decide if you want this room changed or this room shift, you shift it there. Shifting it there will only cost you $5 for a tin of spray paint. But shifting it up on the floor could cost you about $10,000 or $20,000.
Okay.
So the reason for this video is to help you guide.
And that's the first one. That's this video on screen right over here.
That is volume 1, and volume 2 and 3 already is out. It's not out, it's not video on request. If you want, but it will show you stages in the building work.
Okay. So the first volume, as marketing director, marketing coordinator, maybe Colin wants to know how to get out. I don't know. How do we do it?
Well, my job really is to get the DVD into hardware stores and bookstores. Currently, we're available in Cloisters, Days Bookstores, and the Book Place. We're also available in a number of hardware stores: Southern Homes, R&T, PNN, The Bridge, Discount Hardware, Glasesco's Home Improvement, Precision Electrical and Hardware, and Century Elson. Yes. So we're available in hardware stores. My job is to basically get the DVD out there, get people knowing about it. We have an ad in the paper that you can contact me or Mr. Wayne Dowridge about availability. We want to carry it in through the Caribbean. We want to carry it as far as possible in Barbados, and we also have a Facebook page where you can log on, the Wayne Dowridge Construction Manual and Home Video, that you can press your links. It has all the information about the home video, and the video really is a run for the book. So we have the book also in the stores, and the book also we use at the skills training, where they use it as a manual to help them for studying.
You know, building a house is sometimes becomes a scary sort of thing. In fact, I saw someone asking for a good contractor the other day. Does the book have frequently asked questions or questions you should ask your... Because a lot of people, they get a project manager and they expect things to be going. They go back and expect the house to be done.
No, what I try to do in the book is to make it for the less experienced and the most experienced builder. But you put in a lot of details of how things should be. Now you as an owner got a contractor building a house. You at work, you don't really know what's going on. But with the book and the video, you got a sense of what should happen. So in these days, we use something called brute force to put in our blocks. Years back, they never used that. But that's something that designed by the RC and it worked really effective. Now, most people do not build with brute force. But I recommend you build with it at every 3 courses. Help keep the block strong. That way, sometimes some household you get some cracks. You want to know where they're coming from. They're coming because people building the blocks straight up and then putting in a reinforcement between. The same thing with the steel. People got to understand that when you laying steel work, it must have corners at each corner and bobs at each end, so that when the building start to shift, the
something holds it
expand
together.
and contract together. Now all these new systems you'll find in the book, enough details as well on the video, as each part of the job. I talk about each section of what you should do or what you should look out for. Now my job really is to protect the experience as well as the customer and show everything to do. There's new information. You got some people dreading on old information, but there's new ways to do things and how to get things done and do it the right way. And when I say once you want to look at the video and do what I say in the video, there will be no problem.
Guaranteed results.
No, as I was stressing on the engineer, and it was stressing because a lot of what I learn come from engineers, and I will say again, recommend any homeowner who is building even a small latrine, get an engineer on the job.
That's just one of the pieces of information that you have shared so freely. I mean, was there a demand for this kind of information? Because most people would just carry along merrily, doing what they're doing, making the money, creating their reputation, but you're sharing. Was there a demand for it?
Because I say that knowledge is something we need to share. And they can only help the other guys who come along behind us so that they will make the same mistake that I will make or other people make. And that's the only way for we to progress, is to share the information. And we share the information, a lot of things that happen will not happen.
And speaking of sharing, we have some of your video rolling. Perhaps you can give us some idea as to what.
In this part of this, the DVD, this is the compaction. Now what we does is when the foundation clean out, we put some marl in it and we compact it at every 6 or 8 inch centers. And the jumping jack is used. The reason for this is that you want everybody to know you must use the jumping jack inside the manhole, as a whacker will not be the appropriate thing to use, because a whacker cannot spin around in the area, but the jumping jack can do it, and it will compact against the stone and bring it to hard as rock as possible.
And this is all a part of making sure that your foundation is secure.
Well done.
Okay.
For someone who is in the industry, right, and we don't want you to rat out anybody, but there's a situation where it could be that some contractors are just making mistakes, as opposed to some of them who are just taking shortcuts. Is that a lot happening?
Yeah. There is a lot happening. That's why I want this video to get out to them also. There's no shortcuts in this world.
And I must say, as a novice watching it, I learned a lot on construction. Is something that the average person can learn something from, as a home builder who wants to expand, or as a person who's already in the trade who wants to learn a little bit more about their trade.
So now you can be like a do-it-yourself. Oh my goodness.
Far from.
But another thing you mentioned as I was talking with you, Mr. Dowridge, was that you've worked with, when people build their homes normally, they think, oh, it's just building a house and the plan is one sheet that you unroll, but you've worked with plans book thick. Yeah. And that was one of the things our architect recommended, that you get a full blueprint done down to the last thing. So how do you feel about that?
I feel that is a very good idea, because majority of the house plans that we drawn out there, we just a 2-dimension one. So you don't got a side clip to show you how the cupboards is, a side clip to show you how the doors is. Right. So that's another section where most houses go around. They want to get a one flat plan, and the builder going to actually interpret and 3-dimension that in his head to see where the doors look, how the cupboards should look, and that stuff. So it's always good to incorporate an architect that will give you site elevation in order to make any changes. Because that way is another old way. This one plan, that's a no-no.
So for every step you take in the building, because I'm speaking as a novice,
no
just like you, Desiree, so for every step you take, you need to try to make the person who's coming afterwards a little bit more comfortable. So give the builders 3 dimensions instead of 2, is what you're saying. Now, that's probably one of the little common mistakes. Any other little common mistakes you came across that are like bugbears for you, that you really want this DVD to get to strike home for people?
The thing that has got me is, as we go on in certain aspect of the block building, we come up with an idea, and they will say that it's not normally my idea, it's a gentleman named Mr. Richard Lynch's idea, and I was very grateful for that. Normally in block building, a much easier way is that people normally build blocks and plaster. The reason for plastering probably is to add more money to the building, but I'm saying that we can build a house much cheaper before plastering. If you build a block straight, it got a tolerance of probably a quarter, but you can build it straight, clean it off, and head straight for 12 plastic. So in that term, a house that costs 500,000 will cost 250,000. Because the simple reason is that you get rid of the plastering from inside the building, but you must seal the outside.
Okay. And what are we seeing here? Block laying at foundation level?
Yes, block laying is starting at that level at the moment coming up, where you cast the footing. The blocks is going on. At that stage, the engineer recommend that steel come out the foundation every 2 feet centers. And the block hole will be poured at that. On top of the floor, you usually pour the steel come out at 4 feet centers. It changes at the top.
Okay.
So what's been the response among people in the trade? Have they been accepting it? Or?
Yeah, I really ain't getting no bad feedback right now, and I'm very grateful.
All right, and you guys sold over 2,000 copies of this book, I understand?
Yes, we're hoping to sell more. We want to get them to the Caribbean.
All right.
And we're also hoping to sell more of the DVDs, and that's why it's important if you want more information on everything to buy a DVD, because as you can see, it's beneficial to everybody across the world. So buy one, invest in one. And
okay. In closing, the number again?
To reach me, you can 264-6260. That's for all the hardware stores who might be interested in getting the book to sell. And to reach Mr. Wayne Dowridge, who's the director of Steel Tech Inc., for 240-2565.
And that's the number right there on screen. You should also note he's got this in some schools and looking to make sure it's in the tertiary institutions so that our young people know demonstrations, illustrations, and all, I should say, in the book. So all the best to you. Thank you very much for choosing Morning Barbados. Mr. Wayne Dowridge, Managing Director of Steel Tech Builders, Desiree Small, Marketing Coordinator, Steel Tech Builders, helping to empower you, the average householder, inexperienced or beginner, whatever you want to use as the description, as well as the experienced builder to do all the right things and move with the times. We'll take a short break on Morning Barbados, then we'll be back.